All right, you're looking at the back end, but this is the customer's, and this is the Ryobi BP42. It's been left out, all right, and you can tell. With these, I found the best way, you're not going to get to those bolts in the back. Like, you're going to fight that, and you're never going to get them started again. So let's see, just to start off with. I may have to move this over to the other table. But let's just start off with taking the backing off. There's a lot of times it's just easier. Separate this part. You're going to be able to get the bolts you need to get at without having fits and stops. And it's not hard. It's not in there like it shouldn't be the kind of thing where it's all stuck. But we need to get in there and clean this thing up. This is original dirt. So I don't know what was replaced and when. Maybe that was a long time ago. But this is like original dirt to me. Now, maybe somebody was in here. It's hard to say. But this carburetor, you can tell, all right, that needs to be rebuilt. The whole thing needs to be rebuilt. I mean, you know, in terms of like refurbished. All right, it definitely does. So, and the cord's broken. So, there you go. All right, so there's some compression. I don't know if there's enough. Right, we'll have to put a cord on it. What we can do is we can clean it up just to get the dirt off of it. So I'm going to start by giving it a good rinse so that we don't get dirt infiltration into everything. And by the way, the gas smells. It's old. So you're looking at, you know, this is an easy $100 repair. I mean, you know, it's not just replacing the cord, okay? Because you could replace that cord and unless you go over that carburetor, right, you're not guaranteeing anything. That gas is old. And you could see this junk in the lines. So it needs to be cleaned up. This here is obviously rusted and stained. So is that. It takes a while to do that. This kind of oxidation here. That takes a few years. And, you know, it's had a service tag on it. But, you know, when people do these things, they don't generally do what they need to do. All right, so let's bring it out. Let's bring all this outside and get some cleaner on it, and then we'll come back and we'll start. Okay, so the date says it was 3/something/2017. Okay, it's not that bad. All right, I used the old gas fuel routine trick. It cleaned up a lot better. Now I got a different type of a surfactant cleaner on it. And we'll leave that on there for a little bit, and we'll hit it with the brush once or twice. And then we'll rinse it again. So I'm going to go take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll do that. Okay, so I got this cleaned up. So I took this out. And fortunately, there's no real magic to this. But look at that. This is like jammed in here. So, however it got wound, yeah, that's been broken for a long time. This whole cord is a mess. All right, this is just junk. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one out of another machine, and that's why I keep them. And we're going to put a little bit of, blow with air in here a little bit. It's been dripping out. I rinsed it good. We'll put a little oil in that, all right, before we're done. And I'm going to pick this out, and you see how the way it's in here. Hopefully we can pick it out. Got to pick that out. Try to get it free. If we have to cut it out of the way, that's fine. And I'm going to go find one, and we'll recoil it. Okay. Now, one of the ways to do it, see? Let me get the cutter. The best way I find to do it is to take one out of another machine that's good, which I have several. Actually reminds me I need to start really putting these away. And we're going to essentially put it in, okay, wrap it around, and then pass it through and then grab it. And you'll see what I mean. So we can get to that in a minute. Now, if you look, don't know if you can see it, but this one I took from another machine. It's got a little brass like ferrule that's crimped, which is just perfect, so we don't have to tie a knot. So I'm just going to wind it up, and then we're going to see, generally, if you wind it, now you want to kind of, not really tuck it in, but we're going to have to pick it anyway. Just be careful with it. Now what we want to do is kind of try to spin it around a few times. So I'm going to get my vice grip, and we're going to just spin it around a few times and then try to hold on to it, pass it through, and get a vice grip on that, or even one of these. This should hold it, or even this should hold it. Anything. And I want to say you could usually just twice or 3 times, so we'll try. That's once, twice. That's pretty tight. Okay, and we're going to try it. It could probably do 3. 3 would be a lot. Let's see. That might be overwinding it. Yeah, let's try 2. 2 might do it, because, you know, as you pull it. So this one's a difficult one because there's not a lot of room. So let me see. There's not a lot of room in here to kind of feed it through. Because it has to, yeah, twice you'd be doing it. And you have to try to just keep holding it. Should have grabbed my other needle and those pliers. Because it comes through 2 sets of ferrules. Yeah, twice is more than enough. And then just keep feeding it outward. Try to hold it and get it out as far as you can. Once you get it through a couple of ferrules, you can kind of pull it a little bit. Don't forget to give it plenty of excess. All right, that should do it. Okay, maybe a little bit more, just to make it a little bit easier. Then grab it, okay, and then let it rest. And now this piece goes down. So you could put a little oil if you want. I already put a little bit in. All right, don't over tighten it, it's just plastic. Where this one came from. It's a machine through screw. Now we got to get it through here. I've already melted the end. Well, let's give it a good knot. Right up around here somewhere. We don't want it to pull through. And just keep giving it a pull. All right. And let it come back. And let's see. Oh, that feels fine. All right, now let me go get the machine and blow it off the rest of the way. And we're going to put this on, and we're going to do an ignition test and a few other things. All right. Okay. Now before we do any, it's carbonized. Before we do a compression test, because generally we can do a spin test. All right. With a socket on here, but I don't recommend doing that on these because they usually reverse direction. I wouldn't recommend doing that for a compression test. We're going to want to bolt it back on again, but we could do a spark test, and let me set up with that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but let's see. We're just going to, all right, it's should be okay. Let's find out. No, you got no spark. Yeah, all right, so that's not going to happen. All right, there's no spark. I see no spark coming through. And coil's probably dead. Like I said, they don't just stop. So I might have another coil for this. I doubt it. We want to check a little bit further. We're going to put a little different plug in. And I'm also going to check it electrically. Probably mostly the same. So we know we're grounded. Okay, and we should have something. And we can do is we can clean the coil and check that as well. Yeah, that's not going to run. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this coil off next. Okay, to do the position of the camera, I don't know if you're going to see anything, but we're going to go from the ground of the coil to the... Yeah, you're kind of going to be in my way. Just because of the position of everything. But I'll read it out to you. All right, I'm getting 7.86K. And then we want to go to the grounding lead. Excuse me. To the control switch on the coil. 7.86K. So we're pretty good. All right, so this coil should work. Something's grounding it out. The coil should work. We're going to go to the next stage, which is I'm going to clean the flywheel. And I'm going to take the coil off and clean it. And we're going to put it back. Let's see. We'll know. Might spin off. Just all right, we'll spin it back on again. You're not going to see it, but I will. I don't want to spin it off. Okay. All right, I tested enough. All right, we have over 150 pounds. 155, 60 pounds. That's great. Okay, I think we can continue. So we have compression. You know, 160 pounds is fine. Anything over 100. And I put lubricant in there. So that's what you want. So we're going to get the wire wheel. We're going to wire wheel this off. Actually, it's pretty gritty. So we're going to do the other tool. And I'm going to take care of the coil. And we're going to put that back. And we're going to adjust it. And make sure we're okay. And then we'll retest. And we'll see if we can get a spark fired on it. And if there's something wrong with this switch, which can happen, all right? So we can take care of that as a separate issue. All right, that one, because unlike the wire wheel, if there's rust pocks on it, this will actually smooth it out. So, all right, let me just wipe this down and get my 10,000. So we'll put that back on there and we'll take it to the next step. I'm waiting for Mikey. He's bringing me some more toys. My buddy Mike. We'll find out in a little bit. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I got everything's cleaned up and I got my 10,000s in there. Especially for these, you want to be like 10,000. So let's tighten this up, but we're going to pull this wire just in case that switch is bad. Lubricate the screws. Okay, we're done with that. Now let's pull this out. And what we're going to do is take a decent plug, and this one's pretty decent. Should be able to ground it to the chassis. And it is a little nasty, so we'll scratch it good. All right, then let's make sure that's in well. We're going to test it both ways again. And I'm in the dark here, so, all right. And you know, while we're here, we're going to pour a little bit more of our juice in. All right, let it slosh around. Now, you won't be able to see it, but I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, no spark. Oh, we got spark. Okay, hold on. See that? Now, you won't be able to see it. I'm going to hold it. Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's sparked there. Okay. So we got spark. All right, we'll clean the plug up again. Okay, guys, so now let me get to the carburetor. And here's Mikey. Hold on. Here's Mikey.
What's going on?
What do you got?
We got some goodies today.
Let's see. Hold on, bring in my camera. Let's see what Mike has. Mike's always got good shit. Always. Oh my. Oh wow. Oh nice, Mike. All right, we're gonna put the camera down and we're gonna go start digging in. I think we'll just take a quick walk around. Okay, parts. Parts mostly. Okay. Parts. Although the generator might prove useful for something on it. It's a Chinese. Same thing with this one. They're kind of very similar to one another. So that one might run again, but there's some soup inside that tank, and that tank might be garbage. He took the thing off of me. This is nice because I have another one he set me up with, and between the two of them, I now have enough to make one really, really nice machine. And I may even have a bag for it. That's a good $30, $40 machine, quickly cleaned up. I have the missing pieces for it. And this is just the body. The motor's kind of borked, but the cables are good. And look, how does that even happen? I get the craziest things, right? So there's the other tractor, and customer stuff. And here's this. Guy replaced the push rod. I don't know why the push rod would have went bad, or what he did in here, but he cranked down the valve so much, he basically just tightened everything down. Not understanding. Who knows what he did, because he had this cranked down. Mike says there's no compression. He replaced the push rod. The guy gave up. Cranked it down so hard, the valve wasn't shutting. And this one wasn't even tight. So I don't know what was going on with this one. So it has compression now. Let me put the cover back on, because it's going to sit outside. And we're going to put the extra pieces in a bag and leave it over here for a little while. So let me go do that and I'll be back in a little bit, guys. This thing's not that bad. 75 bucks. And since I have the two, and I think the other one was 40. So this was 75. And I gave him 40 for this, so we're at about 150. Between the two, I should be able to sell either both of them or one of them right away. And I may keep one. I'm just trying to decide which one I want more. This one, the other one, or the Jacobson. Jacobson's really the nicest one, but I don't need anything super nice. And if somebody would have given me my price for the Jacobson, I would definitely take it, as nice as it is, because I don't need anything super nice. All right, I'll be back in a bit, guys, and we got to get back to work. Just a quick look with the carb off, and now let's go take a look at the carb so we see it. Just a quick look. Let's pull the carb apart now. All right, it's not bad. Okay, it's pretty clean inside. We're still going to take a few more things off. There's been water in it for a while because that screw, it's got some rust. See all that crap in there? We're going to blow that out, get that out of there. Or wash it some more. All right, you can tell it's been sitting. Look how hard this is. It's hard as a rock. All right. I'll replace that. All right. I'm going to pull out the screws here. I'm going to find the correct part for that. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, it's looking real good. All right, I cleaned off this diaphragm, and I just wipe it with, a clean towel, and I like to use my two-stroke. And so we're going to real careful, we're going to put it on now. Try to get it lined up. It could be a little bit of a pain because of the throttle. Alright. So that part's done. Let me go get the diaphragm for the bottom. Fuel pump diaphragm. Yeah, I know the compressor's on. Life in a shop. Alright, that's done. Let me go get the diaphragm. We'll put that on. Okay. So, two things you're looking for. Well, first of all, these are like linen. They're like super soft fabric. Now, when you replace, there are different types. This one, that little teat, you gotta look at the height of it. Okay, and the height of that, and the button on the back, and the number of holes. So there's three things: the arrangement of the gasket and the holes, the amount or length of this protuberance, that's the plunger, and then on the back. And so once you know all of that, you're fine. All right, so now we can put this on. There's a little bit of oxidation in this carb. This carb has seen water. Not for very long, but the between on the inside and the outside, there's a lot of wear on this carb, on the whole machine. It was not taken care of at all. And of course, you know, it's not going to hold up. So any longer and it would have been garbage. You know, very much so. It just because the expense of replacing so many different things and then paying somebody to do it. That's why I say must just get a new one. Well, this is a little older model, 2017, and I like this model a little better than some of the other ones that I've seen of Ryobi. All right, guys, we're ready to go. I'm going to put the carb back on, but before I do the carb, I want to blow out those lines and check the tank and the filter. Because if there's any hard scaling of any kind or junk or built up in the lines of the filter, then we're going to have to replace them. But especially the filter, if you can't suck through it and blow through it easily, it's clogged. And either you clean it or replace it. If you have others, like I do, I usually replace them. But I always check to see if I can clean them first. All right, this is done. Now, just for a little bit of, you know, again, this is the two-stroke with the tranny. Doesn't hurt to get a little bit of, you know, exercise, a little bit of. Okay, that's it, done. All right, now we're going to take a look at this. You can see there's some dirt on it, but it's nothing bad. But we want to look inside the lines in the tank. And also, in here, the filter, all of that. Now, the tank doesn't look bad. I want to see. There's some dirt on there. Yeah, it's nasty. You can taste it. Let's see, we're going to flush this, and we're going to try and flush the tank too a little bit, a little lacquer thinner. Yeah, she's got a little bit of oxidation on her. That could cause a problem, so we may want to replace this. The oxidation on this could cause a problem. So, first thing we can do is blow this way. Okay. Should be okay. The curved part went down below, down to the bottom. And the other part, this part went up here. Right? Yeah, it went like that. Now we should be able to mount it. All right, let me go put it on. Put a little WD on these because they get stuck. and that was. And so, but don't just leave WD because it's really fine. Get a little oil on that, especially with the WD there, because it'll work its way in, and it won't be getting stuck anymore. All right, plug is nice, cleaned it up, and I got my anti-sneeze on it. Let's get that in now. About ready to close this up. This is tight. All right, we'll get it loaded. It should run. I mean, I've done everything you can. How is this part? Let me just make sure they hold on a little bit. Let me just clean off this part here. That's good. That's a filthy rag. You filthy rag. All right. The gasket was not seated. All right. Now, I don't know if you can put the plug in right now because a lot of times it has to do with the top going on first. So, but we got that on. Another thing we can put on right now is this to get it out of the way, so we don't lose. So basically, it's a baffle. Put this on here. Well, this goes back this way. That's part of the baffle. All right. This seems to be right. I don't know if it goes like that. We'll find out. Let's get the top. See if it behaves. Seems like everything always comes off a little easier sometimes than when it goes back on. Okay, there you go. Okay. It kind of sucks itself down once you get it into place. Yeah. All right. I think these go here. These were the ones that held the bottom in. This one went here. And there was the ones that held the gas tank in, which is probably 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's give it a test. Okay, so first test is a squirt test. See if it pulls fuel. It's pulling fuel. Let's say it's pulling it, but it's just starting to fill the. There it goes. Yeah, pushing the air out. All right, we should be okay. We've still got some air in the lines. Now, which way is choke? This has got to be clean. So start, run. So if that's start. Now you don't have to pull anything. I mean, you know, do anything else. They put the plug wire on. All right, that snaps nice. All right, hopefully I don't blow everything all over the place. Now, let's just see. Hard to. Okay, so it did that. And what? And put it to run. All right, guys. I'm going to clean this out, and that's it. We're going to start it again tomorrow, or later on tonight, because it's late now, and we're going to test it cold. But she's running good. I made it a little bit fatter. You see it? I brought it up, put the screws in until you heard the idle come up on the low, and then I brought it out a little bit because it just took a little while to come up to speed. That'd be too lean. And I turned the high up until she kind of revved up. All right, so we should be good.